What's one thing you'll never buy an off-brand version of again? Cat litter. I wanted clumping. Not piss-laden cement. After 25 plus years in construction. Tools. Also. Batteries. Paint. Cheap paint is shit. Trust me and get the name brand stuff, otherwise you're just going to need it eventually to paint over that patchy cheap shit. I read recently of a massage therapist on Reddit that bought a cheaper table off Amazon and the first day it broke when an overweight client crawled up in it. She left in tears. Bra. I used to always buy something cheap that looked nice enough. Only recently I went to a lingerie shop for the first time to get properly measured. Bought 2 sets of bra and panties that actually fit perfectly and both feel and look great. My life quality improved in an instant. Scotch tape. Freaking hate Dollar Tree Scotch tape. Shoes. Especially running. My back will never recover. Vacuum cleaners. Eventually you just stop vacuuming completely when it isn't strong enough or easy to use. Expo markers. The off-brand ones either put gobs of ink on my whiteboard or run out in half the time Expo does. Plus, most of them are a pain to clean off the board and never erase fully. Band-aids. Cheap band-aids suck, especially when you need to use them on your fingers. I'm a server and can go through at least 6 or 7 cheap band-aids in one shift for one cut because they fall off as soon as they get wet. I love tough strips because they actually stay on when they get wet, so I only end up changing it maybe once just to be hygienic. Work boots. 3 hours in a pair of Walmart $30 Brahmas is worse than 300 hours in even a pretty cheap pair of Wolverines. Obviously a niche market. But piercing needles and nitrile gloves. The amount of times I've worked for guys who buy cheap shit is maddening. Having 2 or 3 gloves rip in a row as you put them on will drive the sanest man to a breaking point. As for the needles, it was awful. I went from using needles that went through like butter to being able to feel every fiber I was going through almost as if they were barbed. And Dr. Thunder sucks ass. Not really. Off-brand. But there were these tampons that were cheaper than my usual and were also eco-friendly. I remember feeling so good about finding something Greenpeace would love me for just to have bits of fluff fly everywhere in my fucking bathroom the second it opened up. They hadn't even pressed the tampon into shape. It was literally just a loose cotton scam that, had I shoved it up my hoo-ha, would have left me living the life of a stuffed bear to this day. Edit. Thanks heaps to those of you who suggested getting a cup. I'd done it before and found it difficult. But through some advice here I've found one that is meant to be right for me by doing this quiz. Hope it helps others too. Video game controllers. Do car tires count here? Everyone is mentioning food. But Jesus please, if you are a young person, hear me out now. Don't cheap out on your tires. Saran wrap. The dollar store shit only clings to itself. Never my dishes. Anything from Wish. Com. Classic Dawn dish soap. By far the most effective and more than justifies the cost. A little goes a long way. For a lot of things now. I'll avoid the Amazon's Choice version of it. Their quality control is absolute garbage. And I've had far too many things break down or not do their job at all. Worcestershire sauce. Mechanical pencils. It's so nice to have a finely crafted writing utensil even if it's a bit expensive. And the cheap ones don't cut it once you stop using them. Appreciating a nice pencil is something I love. So here I am thinking I would save money and buy the store brand contact solution, and then there I go getting pink eye 4 times in 3 months. Crayons, colored pencils. No rose art for me or my future children. Goodies hair ties, all those. Tangle free. Off-brands are garbage. I bought 3 packs because I used to go through them so fast. 2 years later I haven't opened the last 2 packs. Ritz crackers. Off-brand foods are usually hits or mez. But off-brand Ritz crackers are a hard no. Everything's wrong. The texture. The taste. It's just no. Flea Medication. I bought an off-brand at the store a few years ago and came home to both my cats needing to go to the emergency vet. They had neurological issues. My male had a seizure. And my girl nearly died. Buy your Flea Meds straight from the vet. Y'all. Dr. Pepper. Every store has its own generic soda brand. And every one of them gets their version of Dr. Pepper wrong. Some of the names are amusing. But that's about the only good thing about them. pads. You've never experienced discomfort if you've never worn a cheap pad. Oreo cookies. My family bought generic everything, but that was definitely the worst. 100% headphones. Edit. I expected 30, not almost 1K. And the current one is Sennheiser E2 Prob, misspelled it for it's like a text support mic look, but good mic quality and sound. Ones I'm talking about are some off-brand $20 headphones, and I bought one a second time. You know when you walk from PC and forget headphones, it happens 2 times. Headphones fucked. Brakes. Never cheap out on your car's brakes. They are the only thing stopping your car and could mean the difference between life and death in some circumstances. Instant Pot. The generic electric pressure cookers will work, but have absolutely shit design and last nowhere as long. And they try to BS features like slow cook, where you assume it would work as a crock pot for actual slow cooking. Nope. They mean waste 6 hours of your time allowing your food to enjoy a nice steam. And not cook at all. Toilet paper. Beds and bedding. Not necessarily off-brand. But if there's one thing you spend money on, make sure it is those. You can't put a price on getting consistent good nights of sleep. Shoes. Definitely shoes. Every off-brand pair I've gotten wear out completely in about 3 months of wear. Brand name shoes last year's. Edit. Thank you for the award, kind stranger. Philly cream cheese. Every store brand I've tried to save a few bucks with makes gritty textured cheesecakes. Bletch. A mattress. I made the mistake of trying to save money and bought a cheap mattress. Never again. I went and bought an expensive one. And my sleeping has been heavenly. Along with some nice pillows as well. Pay the extra for a good name brand. Both mattress and pillow. Toilet paper. I had to buy a 6-pack of that sandpaper early on in the pandemic because that is all I could find and I was out. Holy shitballs. My pampered ass still hasn't recovered. Automotive Parts. After working on cars for 20 years, I trust dealer parts over parts house brands. Don't trust something just because it says OEM quality. They can put that on anything. Jigsaw puzzles. Turned out to be so low quality that the puzzle pieces bent and almost ripped when you tried to pull them apart. Sleeping pills. I bought sleeping pills from the dollar store because I had chronic insomnia and I am naturally nocturnal. I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom. And brought my pillow with me. I tried to hang it up over the shower curtain rod like a towel. And just chucked it into the shower tub. I then went to go back to sleep and couldn't find my pillow. I had completely forgot what I just did with it. Then after suction cupping my ear to my arm for 20 minutes, I decided to go look for it. Bringing my phone for a flashlight so I wouldn't wake up my wife. Pre-smartphone, so I was using the screen for light. I remember it being 1:30 a.m. My next memory of this night was being asleep. Standing up, standing over my wife's side of the bed. I remember trying very hard to wake up. I kept trying to look around with my phone light and couldn't see anything. Then I kept trying to check my phone to see what time it was. I couldn't see. I couldn't move. All I remember is basically standing there completely paralyzed. Thinking, I am going to fall on my wife and kill her cause she is so tiny. Finally the sun came up, waking me up somehow. Still standing. And I went to sleep on the couch. Found my pillow when I turned on the shower for my wife the next morning. Edit. This is probably what it was that I took. https www.dollartree.com Assured Extra Strength 500 mg acetaminophen PM 60 quart 811,431. Edit 2. Wife corrected me. She remembers throwing it away. http goodsense.com Products Goodsense Sleep Aid Doxylamine Succinate Tablets less than, this was it for sure. Cheap condoms have expensive consequences. Cheez-It crackers. Any other type of cheese cracker. Looking at you, especially cheese nips. Can take a long walk off a short pier. The only other cheese cracker that was good was Better Cheddars. But they apparently don't sell them anymore. Jeans. I bent over and they all ripped at the seams. Luckily had some shorts in car. Raisin Bran. Sounds weird, but the generic brands are horrible. Rocks for raisins and the flakes are like cardboard. For only the finest breakfast experience, Kellogg's Raisin Bran stands out as the superior choice, making you the envy of all your friends and family. Disclaimer. I totally work for the Kellogg's marketing department and make a shitload of money off this post from my summer home in the Hamptons. Pop-Tarts. Mom always said the store brand was the same. It wasn't. Mom. SSDs or external hard drives you store data on. If your data is important enough to back up to an external drive, make sure the drive itself is reliable. Honestly, I would say pads, tampons, yes. I know that name brand products are expensive, but seriously. That's one of those things that you need to have work well. Mountain Dew. Condoms. Jelly Bellies. All other beans are subpar. Freezer bags. i.e. Ziploc bags. Dawn dish soap. Gummy bears. Haribo or go home. Q-tips. Phone chargers. The cheap one worked for a week, so I had to buy the brand name charger anyway.